Hello, my beautiful Leos. I hope you're super well. It is tea and tarot time with Julie. Grab yourself a cuppa, put your feet up. Let's have a little look what's going on for my Leo. Sun, moon, rising, Venus, and cross watching. What is happening for my Leos? This is a timeless reading, guys. I have been recently guided by my higher self and spiritual team to say, please remove the time, kind of, it's this week or it's this month. People are progressing at different speeds, if you like. Okay, so when it resonates for you, that's when it's for you. If it doesn't resonate now, come back to it later. I'm going to put this on a Leo playlist, all right, so you can always just access and feel drawn of whether you want to go back to a reading. Okay, all right, my beautiful people, we've got the Six of Swords with the Four of Swords and the Six of Cups. That's a very interesting combination. We will discuss. All right. Three of Coins, Five of Coins in the middle. Okay, now it's making more sense. We've got the King of Coins coming in. So panicky not. All right. Okay, we've got the Four of Wands, the Ace of Coins, nice, with the Knight of Wands. All right, we've got no major arcana cards going on here. All right, let's get you an affirmation and then we'll go through it and we'll discuss. All right, that's the Tower of Dreams. This is my deck from Hoping to Having affirmation cards. All the cards I use are linked below, along with a link to my website and the pre-order for my book. And thank you, bless your little cotton socks, for all of your congratulations on my Penguin deal. Yes, it's very exciting. I tell you what, you brought me to tears, the amount of you that were saying congratulations and well deserved and all that lovely stuff. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Penguin Random House have bought my From Hoping to Having series, okay, and they're republishing the first two, and the first one's coming out in June. All right, the pre-order link is below. Okay, let's get into this. All right, I love this for you, Leo. Let's just start there, okay? Because the center of your reading is the Five of Coins, which is lack and struggle. But then we've got the King of Pentacles coming in, the Ace of Coins, you know, so we've got like it's shifting, all right? And your affirmations, limitless abundance is available to me now. So let's talk. Come closer, put your feet up, get yourself comfy. All right. So abundance isn't just money, right? And the Five of Coins, let's pick it up and look at it, isn't just, let me get rid of that so I can talk to you properly without distraction. This Five of Coins isn't just about not having any money. It is about just feeling lack generally, right? I haven't got any support, nobody's seeing me, I haven't got any help, I'm all on my own, and I might also be struggling financially. It's a lack energy. It's also a victim energy of life's really pretty bloody shit right now. Sorry for the bad language, but let's talk about this the way it is. Is this hard energy? That's what you've been in. Now, you might find that money's flowing, but support and relationships are not. And you might find nothing's flowing. Whatever's been going on for you, my lions, we are shifting this, okay? Because that Ace of Coins wants to come in. Now, your affirmation, remember, it's a remember card, okay? My affirmations are in three sections: remember, reset, receive. So we need to remember our power to create, and we need to remember that we have limitless abundance available. So I want your affirmation to be, limitless abundance is available to me now. If you're washing the dishes, pause for a little minute and just look at the card on the screen, drink it in, absorb it, embody it, and make it your mantra for the next few weeks. Limitless abundance is available to me now. Now, the other thing we need is positivity. All right, now this also came out for Cancer. And that's interesting because I shuffled them and the same card came out for both of you. So especially if you're on the cusp with Cancer, have a look at that. All right, because this is, I allow negativity and stress to move out of my energy and life easily. So why? Because that top line, I am in a state of positivity. I allow negativity and stress to move out of my energy and life easily. When we align with this energy, things start shifting, right? It was interesting because I saw a comment from somebody this morning, I think it was, it might have been yesterday, that said, I've been practicing your mantra of my life gets easier and easier every day in every way. I was doing a trip and it was cancelled, and I was going to do this and that was cancelled. And these were things I wanted to do, but they definitely made my life easier. So, but I don't know if, like that mantra has taken away things that I actually had planned. What's going on? So I loved that comment. It's really saying, right, when I say to the universe, my life gets easier and easier every day in every way, I don't want them to necessarily remove everything that makes it a little bit challenging. So I want to get it in context, all right? But so what we're aiming for here is that stress is moving out of your life. But if you've booked a holiday, a vacation, and that's a little stressful about getting to the airport or getting on the plane or having to pack, and am I going to forget anything? And you've got a mantra about stress is moving out of my life and the holiday's causing stress, the holiday might get cancelled. That sort of thing can happen. The universe takes you literally, all right? So it doesn't differentiate. When you just say, stress is moving out of my life, we want to differentiate, like the stuff that is damaging for me, harmful for me, debilitating for me, those kind of things get a little bit more clear. All right. So get into a state of positivity and allow the negative stress, because there can be positive stress, can't there? All right. Stress is the cortisol, it's the hormone, the adrenaline that gives you action. It can be stressful applying for a job, but you might want to apply for that job, but we still get stressed about the application form and the interview. So yeah, I want to kind of put a caveat on that to say that we don't want all stress to move out of my life. I want the harmful, negative, debilitating stress to move out of my energy and life easily. All right. But the main take here is that you are aligning with limitless abundance, not just a little bit, not just enough to take the edge off. We want limitless abundance, okay? And flow. That's what we're after here. So let's have a look at these cards in a bit more detail then. So six of swords, three of coins, four of wands. Right, this is moving on. This is leaving difficulty and stress behind you, and next to it is rest. Right, so we'll talk about that in a minute, but let's have a look at this first row. So let's look at these three. So we have this Six of Swords moving on to easier times, better times, smoother times, coming away from that stress, coming away from, what's been hard and heavy. Right. So we're definitely moving on, and we can feel that, right? Ever since the end of March in 2026, it's moving into this whole new energy, right? And we've also got Uranus in Gemini now for the next 7 years. It's a different energy. So we are moving on. And what we're moving on to with that three of coins is much more collaborative, supportive, helpful energy from other people and other beings. Because it's not just people, is it? Your spiritual team, energy, frequency. But the three of coins is a card of collaboration and teamwork. Now, especially because we got that five of coins in the middle, which is nobody loves me, nobody's helping me, I'm all on my own. What we want is to move into more of a teamwork energy. Having support, if this is about your job, getting on with your work colleagues, having support from your boss, working together on something. If this is about family, then the family being more supportive, friendships coming in, perhaps hobbies and interests that connect you with more of a community, right? That gives you more support, because that's what we're getting here. Now we've got the Four of Wands card underneath it, which is lovely. The Four of Wands is the card of moving home, upgrades, improvements, taking things to the next level, generally up leveling. All right. So if I'm dating, we're now talking about making it, commitment or moving in. Or if I'm already living with somebody, perhaps now we're talking about getting engaged, getting married, buying a home together. It's taking things to the next level. In terms of work and business, it's expansion, it's growth, it's promotions. It's a very, very positive card. So we like this, we like it a lot. So when we look at the Six of Swords, I'm moving on to smoother times, easier times. I'm starting to leave the stress behind me. I am opening up here to allow collaborations, teamwork, support, and I can potentially here be moving on into a new home, a new location, a new job, expansion in my relationships, in my health, in my energy. Everything is opening up, which feels really, really good. We like this a lot. Right. So let's look at this middle row then, because what we've got here is the Four of Swords, which is the card of rest, retreat, reboot, rebalance, meditation, just taking a step back from the stress. You see, the thing is, when we have been in a stressful time, say like, this job doesn't work for me, I need to move on, or this location, this home, or this relationship, I'm moving on. So you've done the moving on. It might just be energetically at the moment rather than actually tangible 3D results. But we tend to, let me just explain this, before the reality, I've got the new job, I've started it, before we get to that bit, we actually energetically move on from the job we've got. You just get to that point within your being where you go, this is done. I'm ready to let go. I'm ready to move on from whatever it is, jobs, people, relationships, habits, behaviors. We get to a point where we say, I'm done with this. And what happens is energetically you start closing that down. And at the same time, there's a dovetail of you start opening up to the new. And so the Six of Swords is really about, you've done that work. You've done the energetic moving on. Right now, you might have done it practically. You might be in the new job, in the new home. You might have already completed that. Whatever stage you're at with that, once that's done, because we go into practical mode, don't we? This is not a time to rest. I've got to do. That's the Six of Swords. I've now moved on. Once that bit's done, I want you to rest, okay? Once that bit's done, we're going to take a step back. We're going to rest. We're going to recharge. We're going to reboot, because it has been draining. If you've moved home, you may be feeling this. I don't know anybody here. I don't know my neighbours. I feel very alone. I feel very isolated. If you've changed jobs, then yeah, you don't know anybody yet and you're feeling alone, right? If this is about, I'm moving on from a relationship, or I've left that job and I don't have another one yet, I actually need to rest and recharge, and that might put me in a challenging financial position while I recover before I start looking for another job. So I want you to apply it to your own circumstances, okay, Leo? Because the thing is with this Four of Swords, rest, retreat, step away, step back, with the Five of Coins, can often say like, yeah, if I leave this marriage or this job, I could be right up Think Creek without a paddle for a little while, but I'm going to trust that I'll rebuild, that something new will come, that a new job will come, that new income will come, that if I've ended that business, that something new is coming. But actually with that Four of Swords coming on the back of the Six of Swords is like, I really need to just take a step away, take a step back. If I've been exhausted and run down and stressed over a situation that's been very challenging for some time, just to take a little bit of time to reboot my energy before I go again is very, very helpful. And yes, it might put you in this situation. So an example that comes to mind is, let's say you've ended a romantic relationship. Well, for a while, you may feel very alone. You were used to living with somebody, you were used to having somebody there, and you're feeling very alone because you're not used to it. But in time, you need to heal, you need to reset, restore, and then you'll be ready to date again. Because Ace of Coins isn't just a new job, you know. It's anything new that is solid and grounded and stable and secure, because it's earth energy. So we're looking for that stability. So the new is going to come. The Ace of Coins says the new is coming, all right? But we need to take a step back first. Okay, now we move on to what comes next, right? Because we've got the Six of Cups with the King of Coins, Mr. Moneybags, and the Knight of Wands, right? So let's look at these two for a minute. So this Six of Cups, it's a card of nostalgia, family, people I've known a long time, people I grew up with, childhood, inner child soul. It's all about that old connections, right? Now, when we look at it together, because I want you to see this bit now, I want you to see that top row. We've come away from what's been difficult. We've taken a step back, and we've got this potentially family situation, but it's then moving us into the King of Coins, the security, the stability, the money, the flow, and I'm going to take action on it, right? So the Knight of Wands is a powerful, empowered, passionate, enthusiastic, energized action card. And when we compare it with I'm exhausted and need to rest, I'm feeling very alone and stuck, with the Knight of Wands, it's like, right, by having a rest, I'm listening to my body. I'm listening to my energy. I'm listening to my moods. I know it sounds mad, listening to your moods, but you're paying attention. If you're flat, if you're exhausted, if you're down, if you're depressed, you listen and you go, okay, maybe I need some more sleep. I need some more rest. I'm just going to let that go. Maybe it's about reframing the way I think about things, right? So I'm moving myself into a state of positivity and saying, right, the stress has passed. Six of Swords, done, finished, moved on, right? The stress has passed, the negativity has passed, and I'm now allowing myself to move into the limitless abundance, right? Because we've got the King of Coins on the table. That's abundance. We have got the Ace of Coins of a new beginning, and we've got the Knight of Wands saying, right, so what action are you taking? Because now you've had that rest, your energy's back. All right, you've had that rest, and the Knight of Wands is saying, now we take action. Where's the fire in my belly? Where's the motivation? I'm in that motivation now because I've had a rest, so I can take the action to get me to the King of Coins. All right, so let's find out some more. What deck am I using? I'm going to use the Lightseer's Tarot to clarify, find out some more. Tell me more about this. Can we find out some more about this Six of Swords for my Leos, please? What are they moving on from? Okay, you're moving on from Nine of Swords, stress. You're having, oh, and this, right? Five of Cups, there's your sadness, there's your regrets, there's your negativity, all right? So you're moving on from stress and regrets, right? Regrets are a complete waste of time, all right? Take the learning. Say to yourself, learn from that. Won't be doing that again. And then we have the judgment, the rebirth, the rising up from the ashes. And that's what the Six of Swords gives you, you see. You've moved on, you've left the stress behind. But a lot of the time we don't actually even realize. It's like the moving on can be stressful too. So we kind of think, well, I'm still stressed. But now we've done the moving on, then we can go, okay, now we can breathe. Now we're in a new energy. We're in a new beginning. The judgment is a very powerful new beginning. It's a major arcana card of fresh starts. So that's what we're in. All right. So what else are we clarifying? Let's have a look at this Five of Coins. No, I don't want all them. That's far too many. Okay, tell me about this Five of Coins, which we know is about lack, limitation, feeling left out, feeling skint, struggle. Two of Cups. Right, for some of you, this is about love. You're feeling left out because you haven't got a relationship, or you're feeling left out because you are in a relationship and it's not very loving. You can also be feeling this, they're just telling me, because you've forgotten how to love yourself. Yeah. And we do sometimes, don't we? We forget, like, where's my self-love and self-care, and where's my self-nurture? Have I forgotten that I'm an amazing, amazing, beautiful person? Let's bring some self-love back into this situation. That's going to help you, okay? Tell me more for Leo, please. Tell me more about what this Five of Coins is about and how they overcome it. The Tower. With, at the bottom of the deck, the Magician. Ooh, and the Eight of Wands. And then the Ace of Wands. Oh, hello, let's talk. Let's chat. I can't hold all of these at once. All right. So we talked about the Two of Cups. Let me get rid of that a minute. Okay, come closer. Two of Cups. Love, self-love, right? Love heals. Love puts light into the situation. Love restores. Okay, then we've got the Tower. We're going to allow the Tower to fall. We're going to actually embrace the Tower. This is the Five of Coins that we're clarifying, which is a negative card. When we see the Tower, we welcome it, right? Because whatever was making me feel outside, left out, struggle, lack, the Tower is falling on it and saying that can go. Right. Now we step into our power. Here's the Magician, right? You are in the magic to create that limitless abundance that wants to come in. This is remembering that you have the power to create something new. That if a toxic relationship has ended and you're feeling sad and you're feeling alone, well, we're letting the Tower fall on it to say, well, thank God that's over. Now I can rebuild. Now I step into the Magician energy. Maybe it was a job that ended. Whatever it was that's created that Five of Coins for you, it wants to end. Judgment card is here to say a rebirth. So now we're in the Magician energy. Alchemize, transform, transmute, shift and change it. And do it now. Eight of Wands is getting on with it, right? Eight of Wands is no more restrictions, things going forward. The Ace of Wands is the minor arcana equivalent of the Chariot, victory, success. So it's like, right, the Tower's fallen, freeing me to move forward. You know, maybe it was something that looked horrible, like you just found out your partner's been cheating and your whole world collides and collapses and it's horrible. And then you look at it, well, I'd rather know and know that he's, you know, cheating, lying scum. A bit harsh, but, you know, that's the way you're going to feel in the moment, isn't it? Let's be real. But then you say, well, now I can move on and I can move on without guilt or regret. And perhaps that relationship's been stale for some time, you know, and it's like, I'm actually glad this has happened. And that takes a bit of time to get to sometimes. But Eight of Wands says we can move on now, whatever it was, because here's the Ace of Wands. Hey, you see, that Knight of Wands, Mr. Action Man, as moving on into what am I doing about it? What action am I taking? You're in that energy of action, and that is what actually creates the new beginning. So here I have fresh energy, a fresh start. I'm motivated, I'm enthusiastic, and more importantly, I'm back in my power. Okay, because that Five of Pentacles under there, right, is disempowering. She's feeling very sorry for herself, as we have over here, right? But we are now back in our power to be able to shift things forward in a different way. Go me. That's what I want you to say to yourself. Yes, go me. Okay. Anything else we want to add to this? Yes, they're saying a couple more. All right, let's find out then. What else does the universe want to tell you? What else does the universe want to tell you? Oh, hello, the Wheel of Fortune. Well, isn't that nice? The Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor. This is a new karmic cycle. This is divine timing. This was absolutely meant to be and meant to happen. Okay? Meant to be and meant to happen. So when you can step into that energy, it helps you get out of any victim energy, if this has happened to me, and shift it to this has happened for me. And that is a whole different energy. This is happening for me, because a whole new cycle, a whole new world is opening up for you right now. And you are embracing it and jumping into it. We've got the Ace of Coins, we've got the Ace of Wands, we've got the Two of Cups. So we're in, I'm loving this, I'm loving myself, I'm loving life, because this is a whole new ball game and it wants to happen. Okay? Right, let's finish off with an angel card for you. This is the Oracle of the Angels. The reason I tell you what the cards are is because some of you will ask, what was that deck? And then I don't remember which deck I use, and I've got to go through the video to find the answer. So I'll just tell you now, and then you know. All right, it's not about go and buy it because it's an affiliate link, although it is. It isn't about that. It's about just information for you. Okay, now talking about information, we've got 3 angel messages coming in for you. All right, so let's look at them one by one. A releasing, number 5. I want to kind of say no shit Sherlock, so I'm just going to say it. Right, this whole reading is about you're moving on from the stress, the strain, the anxiety, the difficulty. You're moving on, you're releasing it. Number 5, change. Releasing and letting go. And then you're moving into this ascension, a number 43, which is a 7, which is a very spiritual number. Look at him going into that light, up those stairs and into the tree of life. The tree of life represents your world, your life. Okay. And then look what we get to. Joy. Oh, joy. That's what you're moving into. So there might be fears and wibbles and wobbles, but take that 4 of Swords, okay? That 4 of Swords up there, rest, recharge, retreat, and then you're ready to move forward towards your joy. Beautiful. All right, my Leos, that's what I have for you. I hope it was helpful. If it was, do me a favor, hit that like, subscribe, hype if it feels right for you, and I will see you soon. Lots of love to you all. Take care. Bye-bye.